case you are wondering why so many people are wearing Lions garb, hello Mark, today is Spirit Day. And our newest member, Lion Brenda, is going to explain about Spirit Day. Stand up, Brenda. What is Spirit Day?
Spirit Day is Halloween, or the day after Halloween, when we all celebrate the spirits past.
I gotta give you credit for that. That'll be a quarter.
In my defense, I have not had orientation yet.
Who is your sponsor? Yeah, but you have the opportunity to orient her. Okay. Quarter.
Okay.
Okay, well you pay it then. All right, so as I come around, if you're not wearing a piece of Lions clothing, and you are a member, and your name is Sam, please pay. Oh, Marilyn, will you stand up?
I can't hear you.
We can go ahead and induct him today.
Who's that?
Has every size
good.
and shape. I can guarantee you she has every shape. Past District Governor Jim.
King Lion Ron, fellow Lions and guests.
That thing is too
$2, one happy, one sad. The sad dollar is that a good friend of mine and an ex-co-worker, Rick Dahl, lost his wife last Saturday to cancer. I haven't been able to talk to Rick. It wasn't in the paper, but a friend of mine got it from Facebook, whatever that is. And so I'm sure it's true, and there's a card going around. The happy dollar is for the Seahawks. They gave us a great year of entertainment and excitement. And unfortunately, what happened at the end reminds me of a story from World War II, for those who can remember that there was a World War II.
What color is your heart?
An American naval pilot flew off the USNS Hornet and was in the Battle of Midway. He comes back, he sees a carrier, he lands, and he says, "What a great day. I sunk a cruiser, I sunk a battleship, I sunk a submarine." And over the loudspeaker from the bridge comes, "I saw, you only make a one mistake."
Lion Sam Wardle has two very happy dollars.
Well, thank you, thank you. I prepaid my two for the record. Mr. President, fellow Lions and guests, Ray and I have been gone for the last 2 months. We did have some vacation. Well, Ray was also gone, so you can feel sad. But we had one happy dollar, but we certainly have a lot of sad thoughts. In the last 2 months, we've had a lot of friends, close acquaintances pass away, and that's one reason we haven't been here. We've been at hospitals, and hospice, and every place else. So, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sam. Lion Dwayne.
President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, I have a happy $2 bill for 7 years of happy retirement.
Past President Doug.
President Ron, fellow Lions and esteemed guests, I have a happy dollar for a sad story that turns out with a happy ending. Not too many years ago,
Let's start calling you President Chicken Shit.
twins. She had to give them up for adoption right away. Well, several years went by, and she found out that one was named Amal. She was adopted by a Venetian couple. The other one was named Juan, adopted by a Hispanic couple. Well, many years went by, and one day in the mail, she gets a letter from Juan. What was it up? And there's a beautiful picture. She's really elated. She runs next door to the neighbors and says, "Look at this! I got a letter, a picture from Juan." Well, I wish I could
See them all. Just don't worry about it. Once you see one, you've seen them all.
Is anybody in the room willing to let that go for $1? Come on, Doug. Thank you. All right, treasurer can't, past treasurer can't. Oh, you were just paying a fine. Okay. Marty, however, is looking good. Oh, okay. Thank you.
King line around, total lines and gifts. I put $1 in for not having the attire on, but sitting at the table, I'm watching a good friend of mine, Greg, kind of pulled a quick one. So I put in an extra $1 for Greg because he slipped his jacket over to his wife.
The unfortunate thing is now we have to find Greg. Your pin doesn't count, Greg. Thank you. My bill.
Good afternoon, King Lion, Rob, fellow Lions and guests. It's nice to be here. I gave you a happy buck because I'd like to be here on the most generous Lions Club that we come and visit. Did I mention we've got raffle tickets to sell?
Yeah. Only time you guys come.
Can we work a trade, President Ron? Is there any way we can work a trade from those raffle tickets?
You.
Never mind. Pass zone chair, Steve.
President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, I talked to Steve Hundley this morning, and he really misses the club and misses everybody who says hi.
Thank you, lowlife. President Ron, Lions and guests, I have, oh, that's right, esteemed lowlife. Scumbag. First $1, I have a Seahawk sweatshirt I'm willing to let go, real cheap. The other $1 is, right after the game, I called the hospital to see if Linda Boswell had checked in, and she hadn't, so I called mental health, and she had called them, but apparently didn't check in. We'll go back. So better luck next year, huh, Linda?
I happen to know where Linda lives, and mental health is not a solution for our neighborhood. Lion, Kathy.
President Ron, Lions and guests, I have a couple to buy. One is because we also are visiting the most generous club because we have breakfast tickets to sell. So if you would like to come to breakfast, you can see one of the Hazelden Lions. I also have a happy buck because the Longview Pioneers came to visit us a week or so ago, and somehow they managed to find our gavel. I am happy to be here to retrieve it, and I could probably find another happy buck if I could find the gavel.
Should I give it to her
President
now?
Ron would have a happy buck if he could find it too. Oh wait, that's our gavel.
See, where is Dwayne?
Lion Maryland.
President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, I'd just like to say welcome to everyone that is here. It's good to see some faces from other clubs that Steve and I have gotten to know over the last few years.
Send me your email. I'll be glad to send you.
Is this funny for the buck? Fastest recovered JD. Where's Buck? Okay, whatever. Give us your title.
You didn't have her come up and retrieve it?
All right, well, I'm just happy to be here. I find it kind of, well, that's right. President Ron, fellow Lions, honored guests. Is there anybody else in here? All right. I'm happy to be here again. I just kind of felt like a yellow day. So So I thought I'd come down to this sea of yellow. And Lion Bill forgot to mention that these raffle tickets are for our annual Hawaiian raffle, which we're going to draw in 2 weeks. And they're only $5 a piece. It's a great deal. Thanks.
Thank you. Working our way over here to past Zone Chair Gray.
President Ron, fellow audience guests. This is where did what's his face go? Dwayne Smith, where'd he go?
The camera.
Oh, up there. Dwayne said 7 years ago that he retired. Dwayne's 3 months older than I am. I've only been retired 3 years. Is that because he worked and all I did was sell cars?
How did the Maxwell cars sell?
We have $1 over here. Elaine, run.
Well, I'm also from the Hazelnut Club, and I'm the tail twister, President Ron, members, guests, and then all others who may I am also the tail twister of the Hazelnut Club, and we are good. We are wonderful members. We are above and beyond in so many ways. Is that not right?
That is correct.
But something happened on our club. But something happened on our club that was disparaging and untoward, at least. And as tail twister, I felt personally responsible for it happening.
Yeah.
And the guilt.
You might want to pay a whining though.
And the guilt. I want to say the guilt. If you do have mental health folks around, the guilt has been overwhelming me. And I'm here to try to assuage some of that guilt by letting you know that stealing our gavel was uncalled for, unreasonable, and
a lot of fun.
And a lot of fun.
Wrong.
In your club, you're the tail twister?
I am.
You're the esteemed tail twister.
I am that too.
And if guests came to visit your club and sat together, you'd probably find them, wouldn't you?
No.
Well, guess what? You're in our club today. Thank you. All right. I believe it's Lane George.
It is. President Ron, fellow Lions guests, I have 2 disappointment bucks. One is that, on Spirit Day, the fine goes to the club's functions, and some of it kind of fudge on that. It just really disappoints me. The other one is that Casey James' jacket's kind of tight around the shoulder.
Pass it to Governor Mark.
President Ron, fellow Lions guests, and scumbag tail twisters. My happy dollar, esteemed scumbag tail twisters. I stand corrected, Phil. My happy dollar today is for training. One of the great opportunities you have as a Lion is opportunities to better yourself personally, and it helps you through your Lions endeavors. On Saturday, I got to go to facilitator training, and I see several of the people that were at the facilitator training come to visit us today, so I'm very happy about that.
Working our way over to the Mr. Antisocial, we do allow physical therapists with the rest of the members. By the way, this man is responsible for everything I can do athletically. So yeah, he'll pay a fine for that. $20?
King Lion, fellow Lions and guests, look what I had to work with.
Are there any more happy dollars from the floor? Oh my goodness, look at those hands shoot up. Thank you, Larry. Leroy, Lion Leroy, with a quarter and
I'll take some change, please. I'll take $6 from you. No, that's why I said 6. President Ron, Phil, Lance, and guests, I got some breaking dollars for my kids, and so I'll put $4 in for happy dollars for them because I'm going to spill about it for a while. Both of them, one's a freshman, and the other one's sophomore. One's sophomore, one's a freshman. Anyway, both of them are in high school. My son Logan, he's the sophomore. He took the PSAT test a couple of months ago, got the results back a couple of weeks ago, and he's in the 91, 93 percentile for math. And so now all of a sudden that comes out, and we have all these colleges sending this all of a sudden because they want their math people. So that was great. He's so up there, I can't even think about what he does. My daughter, Grace, she's a freshman, and both of them got their report cards at the end of the year. Logan, well, we just got it last week, and they both got straight A's. So, boy, they're really surpassing me now. And my daughter also, we had gymnastics meet down in Newport, Oregon, and she ended up, I think there were like 75 girls in her session, and she ended up placing ninth on the bars. And so, hey, we're looking good. Is that $4 worth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chair George.
President Ron, Phil, Lines, and guests, I got a sad dollar. I just found out today that back at Carmen's Cottage in Ontario, Canada, they got 2 feet of snow and it's beautiful, and I'd love to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, King Lion, Ron, and yes. Ron Stopler and I sold some property in the Scully Flats that was a grow operation. We had a store in Tumwater and Olympia, and they both got taken over for back taxes. And Ron bought me this hat, and I really want to thank Ron for it. It's supposed to be a cannabis hat.
Okay. Lion Ray, is it okay if I use you for a little demonstration? Stand, please stand. For our visiting members who are sitting together, I wanted to point out that Ray's husband is back there. So that's how you do it.
No, she's just been whipping straight for 30 days. She's running a break.
Moving to the head table. Second VP Laura.
President Ron, Lines, and guests. This is a befuddled dollar because I don't really know what to call it, but today I had packed my Go Spirit Day yellow jacket in my bag, and I get ready at my mom's house, and so I was unpacking I had the jacket laying on the floor, and my mom goes, "Who died? Whose funeral you going to?" I said, "Well, what do you mean?" She goes, "Well, that seems to be the only time you wear it." So I'm going to start changing and making it more of my daily.
Like you did
Oh, yeah, it's here. I got it.
Oh, you're aiming high. Woo. I don't ever want to see you come walking towards me in a church. I'll tell you that.
We need Kathy Morrison to come up here to give her gavel back. Yeah.
Past Sister Governor Kathy, would you come up forward, please?
Walk of shame. Gotta get her done.
Did you pay her fine for this? Did she pay a fine for this?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know to trade for tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kathy, we have your gavel here. Yeah, you owe us a fine for us bringing that back here.
I know, you found it and you saved it for me. I don't have one of those.
Checks.
Checks.
Now, you want to trade?
No, that's okay. There we go.
Give it to the field with her.
The esteemed?
Yes, the esteemed. Thank you, Kathy. no other happy bucks, we'll get this meeting started. Ken Patero, you lead us in the invocation.
Pray that perfect blessing to them when they Lions Spirit. Love in our hearts, Father, we thank you for all that are blessings, our community, our friends, and our organization. We bow our heads and ask you to bless the food we have had this day, nourish and strengthen our bodies, and keep them moving forward. Love in our hearts, we thank you for all in Jesus' name.
Amen. Ron Stopper, you lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Marilyn, will you lead us in the song?
My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims bride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Darn you. Lion Tamers, do we have any guests? Oh yeah, a lot of them. Give me my gavel back.
We have several guests. Oh, President Ron, fellow Lions and guests. We have several guests today. From the Hazeldale Lions, there's Kathy Morrison, Ron Morrison, Alan McDonald, and Jean Peterson. And from the Vancouver Lions, there's Bill somebody. Bill Craig, Larita Webb, Howard Robertson, and J.D. Miller.
Sunshine report.
It's raining.
President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, we've still got some very ill Lion members. Steve Huntley is working on killing cancer, and Duncan's wife Patsy is still fighting her battle also. And we know that Ken Dahl's wife just passed away, and there's been a card around it. Rick Dahl, excuse me. If you haven't signed it, please see.
Okay, under the announcements, zone chair, or we have a zone meeting this the 18th. It's going to be at the Chinese Garden. Everybody's welcome to come. Can we get John Palmer Sr. up here and his sponsor?
Who could that be? John Jr.? I didn't say that.
President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, we had an opportunity to induct 3 new members last week. Only 2 were in attendance, but today the 3rd has arrived, so welcome. First of all, It is our pleasure, on behalf of the officers of Pioneer Alliance, to welcome you at the presence of this meeting. You know now that membership in a Lions Club is a privilege. You're joining the world's largest service organization. We're a group of more than 1.3 million men and women in 46,000 clubs in 208 countries around the globe. Our history dates back to 1917 when Lions Club International was formed by a Chicago businessman, Melvin Jones. He believed that local business clubs should be working for the betterment of their communities and the world at large. Lions are especially dedicated to serving the blind and visually impaired, as you will see in the future. A commitment made after Helen Keller challenged our members to be Knights of the Blind in the crusade against blindness. Our motto, "We Serve," perfectly exemplifies the dedication to helping those in need. You as a member of the Pioneer Alliance will help us carry on the tradition for many years to club. If you can look over here, John, you will see the large letter L superimposed on a purple background within a gold ring, signifying unity and strength. On either side of that gold ring is a lion's head, one looking forward, the other looking back. One looking forward to future accomplishments, and one looking back over past accomplishments. There is not enough darkness to put out the light of one small candle. We have lit one small candle in your honor so that you may share in the glow of service. It's symbolic, we know that, but it's also what's in your heart that will keep this flame burning. Since you've expressed a desire to be a member of Pioneer Alliance, I ask you now to respond to my words with a simple "I do." Do you accept membership in Pioneer Alliance, knowing that you are encouraged to participate in all functions of the club?
I do.
To the best of your ability, will you abide by the Lion Code of Ethics, attend meetings, and contribute to the programs of your club, district, and Lions Club International?
I will. I do.
By the power vested in me by Lions Club International, I now declare you officially a member of Pioneer Alliance. Your sponsor, who is also your son, will now present you your lion lapel pin, which signifies membership. Wear it proudly, wear it to the meetings. You will see sometimes that the tail twisters look for that pin, and if they don't see it, that quarter comes out of your pocket. And I ask your sponsor to respond to my words with a simple "I will." Will you fulfill the following obligations? Be a mentor for your new lion.
I will.
Make your new member feel welcome.
I will.
Introduce them to other club members.
I will.
Assist them in becoming an outstanding lion.
I will.
I'd like to personally congratulate you for accepting this service challenge for our community. You will receive a temporary red badge until you complete 4 tasks. Then you will receive a permanent blue badge. Do you know what those 4 tasks might be?
No. Yeah.
Of course not.
Helping with the white paint
projects.
Yeah.
All right.
And
visitation.
Visitation.
Go on a visitation.
Yeah. And
go to a board meeting. And
early.
The big O.
The big O.
The big O.
O-R-N...
Orientation.
Orientation. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Okay.
So we would like to again welcome you. I'm going to give you 1 minute where you will not be fined, and tell us a little bit about yourself, will you? 1 minute.
1 minute. Well, I'm a Vietnam vet, 3 tours in Vietnam, 3 Purple Hearts, Bronze Star, Silver Star. I belong to VFW, American Legion, DAV, Purple Heart.
Good for you.
And the other group called the Optimist Club and now the Lions Club, and I volunteered at the VA hospital. Been the VA hospital chairman for 14 years. So. And I'm his dad. Got 4 boys and 1 girl and 14 grandchildren.
All right.
Truly a man of service, and we appreciate that, and we again welcome you and Pioneer Lions one more time. Let's give them a big welcome.
Under the announcement, George Moore has an announcement.
President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, we do have some visitations coming up. Tomorrow night we're going to visit Council Longview Early Bird at 6 p.m. at the carriage. Do they have a camel?
Do they have a camel?
Hope so. Monday night we're going to visit on the 9th the Longview Monticello, 6:30 p.m. at the carriage. On the 18th, as Ron already said, is zone meeting at the Chinese Garden. Please sign up back there on the table because we need a count on how many are going. Then on Thursday the 26th, we're going to visit Battleground, 7 p.m. We'll leave Columbia Ford at 6. So please sign up.
Clarification question. So we're no longer going to Woodland on the 18th? Okay. There's not 2 groups going.
Dick Sorensen.
President Ron, fellow members and guests, 2 announcements. One is recycling at Campus Towers this Thursday morning at 8 o'clock. So if anyone would like to join us over there collecting, we usually go and have breakfast afterwards. So anyway, that's the first announcement. The second one is I'm getting a few grocery bags. If you remember, I announced that here several weeks ago, that if you are taking or collecting, when you buy your groceries, a paper bag from the stores, if you could either bring them here or you can drop them off at CAP. They're in dire need of sacks of grocery type, weight-wise, for people to take their groceries and all that stuff. So either you can give them to me out here when you turn in your recycling, or you can take them right over to CAP. Thank you.
Kathy Morrison has a announcement. He's bringing the mic to you.
Thank you very much. We are having a pancake breakfast at Applebee's in Hazeldale, the one in Hazeldale, because there's another club that's having one the same morning in Salmon Creek. So you want to be sure to come to the one in Hazeldale. It's $10 a ticket, and they cook the pancakes. They don't let us cook the pancakes on their grills, but we are doing the serving, we are doing the greeting, and we would be very happy to see you. They're $10 a ticket, and I think all of us have tickets. So if you would like to get one, we would be delighted to sell you one. Thank you. February 21st.
February 21st, she said. Craig Swanson has an announcement.
I just want to say I'm collecting all the wine, so bring it in. Oh, Honorable President, Lions and guests, bring the wine. I'm collecting it for our Taste of Italy, which is, what date is that? Is that April?
March 28th.
March 28th. Okay, March 28th. Thank you.
Marilyn Patterson has an announcement.
President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, in honor of Spirit Day, I just wanted to let you know that I am the clothing chair, Brenda, and if you need to see me for clothing, I'll give you a list of what we offer.
John Claypool has an announcement.
President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, the awards committee is going to have a meeting right over next to Marie after this meeting. If any of you, we are looking for our outstanding lions from the month of January, just last month. And if any of you have know of a lion that deserves some recognition, please come and sit with us after the meeting. Thank you.
Great third.
Mark Kelch has an announcement.
President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, roughly 40 years ago, a program was brought to Cowlitz County. Reading is fundamental. You've heard me pretty much every year go through this spiel since the late 80s. Because in the late 80s, I came up with this wonderful fundraising idea of creating Valentines locally, and they offer the Valentines for a donation. You're not asked to pay a particular amount, it's just by donation. Every dollar raised goes to buy books for local children. So I will pass the bag around, and if you have questions, I believe Sandy knows a little bit about RIP as well. But I will pass the bag around. I know many of you have already heard about RIP in the past. Please keep the bag rolling. Do not take any funds that are put in the bag to buy Hawaiian raffle tickets or purchases for pancake beats. However, if any of our guests who are selling raffle tickets, they are very welcome to donate to our local cause. Thank you.
I see that most of the raffle tickets, King Lion Ron. Fellow guests and fellow Lions and our guests, I see that most of the raffle ticket bags have made it around the table. We still have them. They are $5 a piece. It's a Hawaiian raffle. 7 nights, 8 days in Waikiki as a Royal Hawaiian. We've done this for, I don't know how many years, 50 years. Long, long time. And so Bill Craig has them. Howard Robertson has them, I have them, and we also brought a guest from the Pacific Foundation for Blind Children, that's Terita Webb here today. And she has some things to hand out if you ever want to go back and say hi to her.
And now I'll turn the meeting over to Keith Huff.
Good afternoon, Lions. You want to walk with us? Or? Hi. All right. President Ron, fellow Lions and guests, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today, Elaine Placido. Elaine is the director of the Cowlitz County Building and Planning Department. Before accepting the position of director in 2013, she served 2 years as the Building and Planning Operations Manager. From the Building and Planning Advisory Board perspective, we viewed her as our liaison to customer service and satisfaction. And so it's been a long haul, but she's been doing a good job. Elaine has enjoyed a varied career in public service, including nonprofit management and work with local governments in Missouri, California, and Nebraska. Elaine is a veteran of the U.S. Coast Guard who served for 7 years of active duty. She has an active volunteer life and serves as a member of the board of directors for the Lower Columbia Estuary Partnership, as well as work with several organizations in support of youth in agriculture. She has a BA in criminal justice from Park University, a master's in public administration from University of Nebraska, Omaha, and a doctorate in public administration from Valdosta State University. So please, a warm Pioneer Lions welcome for Elaine.
Good afternoon. I don't usually get to talk to people that are happy. This is very exciting for me. I know, trust me. I know. And I look out into this crowd and I see George. So you can blame it all on him. So Keith asked me to just kind of give you a quick wrap up of some of the major projects that are going on for the county, and I thought I'd start it out with getting the microphone in the right spot. kind of an overview of what we accomplished last year. So 2014 was a good year for us. We are actually seeing some single-family dwellings being built. 107 permits for new houses built last year, 2014, the highest year since 2009. So the valuations went up from $18 million in 2013 to $23 million. Commercial was down, unfortunately. We had Timco the year before, big project, brought a lot of valuation into the county. We're hoping for bigger things in the future. So our total building permits were up to $971 and $36.5 million in valuation. So that was a good year for us. And a good year for us translates into a good year for the county. And, you know, I'm an egghead, so I have to give you some charts and graphs. So there's your gratuitous chart and graph there. But it shows you the valuation that's permitted as in compared to the number of permits that we issue. When you see that top line is the building permits, kind of lighter shade, and the bottom line is the valuation. So the further apart they are, like at the very front end of the graph, we're issuing a whole lot of permits for very small projects. So not a lot of valuation, but a lot of permits going on, maybe a lot of pole barns or something. And towards the middle of the graph there, you see where the valuation went real high. That would be EGT. So big commercial projects, not as many permits, but a lot of valuation.
What's EGT?
It's the big grain terminal down at the Port of Longview. It was completed in 2009. So building and planning, so those were the building stats. The planning statistics for last year, and it's important to remember that planning is always the first step in pretty much any process that we do. We do a thing called planning clearance, and it looks at like land use and environmental policy. And those permits were up by 24% last year, so that's a good sign. SEPA determinations, State Environmental Policy Act determinations, were down. We reduced the burden on those. So if you're building a home, you don't have to do those anymore. So that's good and saves a little bit of money. And overall, our total planning applications increased from 524 to 622, a 19% increase. So forecasting, we would say that we're looking up in the future. So major projects, they break into three categories: legislative, which is probably not the most exciting; process, which I find to be horribly exciting, but I wouldn't expect you guys to really, but I'll give you the big updates. And then the big projects, and that's where most of the interest lies. So of course, I'm saving those for last. So legislative. The first one is our Shoreline Master Program update. It is a program that's mandated by the state of Washington and administered by the Department of Ecology. It's an interesting program in that we do local adoption, but the state reviews everything. If it doesn't meet whatever the state requirements are, then we go back to the drawing board. We've been in this update for about 4 years now. We have a grant that covers 5 jurisdictions: the county, Castle Rock, Kelso, Kalama, Woodland. Longview did their own, and each one of us will end up with our own SMP document. The grant ends June 30th this summer, and we will have a large party when it's finally done. Each jurisdiction is currently in their first or second round of ecology review. The county's SMP will go back to ecology on February 17th for a 30-day review. Then it will go to the Planning Commission for a public workshop and a hearing. They will make a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners, and then the Board of County Commissioners will get it for their adoption process, and hopefully that'll be done by June, July this summer, and then it'll go off to the state. The comp plan update, it's been a hot button issue for probably the last 4 years as we've been going through that update. It's had an interesting history. It's about 40 years old. So regulating underneath the comp plan was kind of a challenge when you're doing permitting for things like cell towers that didn't exist when the comp plan was last written. So we've been working on that update. We had a consultant originally working on it. We had some problems with the consultant not being responsive to local comment, so they aren't working on it anymore. Staff took it in-house. We wrote it, completed the draft in March. We've been in the workshop phase with the Planning Commission since last March. So over 40 hours of public workshops. The document looks extremely different than it did in March, which it's supposed to, as it goes through the public comment process. An open house was held in Toutle last week, and one will be in Kalama on the 24th. If anybody wants to head down there, it's from 4 to 6 at the Kalama Community Center. And that's just getting kind of local comment on different sections of the plan. And then our final Planning Commission workshop is scheduled for February 18th, and then we'll move into hearings. The Planning Commission will send a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners when they complete their hearings, and then the board will hear it for their adoption process. So it'll go back into workshop and then hearings again. And we have an annual update scheduled for the comp plan, so hopefully we don't wait another 40 years to update it again. So this year, one of the exciting changes we made in 2014 was assigning a long-range planner, which you might think isn't that exciting, but things like the comp plan, when they get to be 40 years old, aren't very useful. A lot of our other ordinances are just as out of date. So we assigned another planner who has some interesting skill sets and was able to do long-range planning. We assigned her, and she's been taking on some of these tasks. We met with the Board of County Commissioners about 2 weeks ago and asked them to set their legislative priorities. Based on that conversation, we have their priorities, and we're going forward on a critical areas update, another update that's mandated by the state, like the shorelines management update is. That'll be due to the state and to be completed by the middle of 2017. An essential public facilities ordinance, community wildfire protection plan, that's actually a grant program for fire safe communities, a community planning area for Kidd Valley, a tiered variance ordinance. This came out of something that happened last year that was in the newspaper. Not one of our best moments, but I think that most people that have gotten some kind of permit can relate, so it's an interesting story to share. A gentleman came into the office and to the permit center, and he needed to get a patio cover. So we looked at his plans, and it was going to be, I don't remember the exact amount, but it was something like $3,200 to get the patio cover. And the patio cover itself was like $500 to construct. He had to get a variance because his yard was very small. So the patio cover would have been too close to the property line. So the fee was going into the variance, not into the permit for the patio cover itself. So it kind of reminded us that one size does not fit all. And we needed to do some examination on that. So fortunately, that tiered variance goes into that one. It kind of reduces fees significantly for projects that don't need the full oversight of the regular variance ordinance. A small wind energy ordinance, an airport overlay update mandated by the FAA, but it's critical for our local airports. The Woodland Airport has never had an overlay zone, which means that people that are doing construction in that area could be fined by the FAA. Nobody wants to be fined by the FAA. So we're working with the airports to get that done. Addressing in private roadways, surface mining, vesting, and several other housekeeping updates. So process, we got a new permit system last year. That's very exciting. Our old permit system was 1995, something like that. It was a mess. So we signed a contract in January 2014. Implementation began in July, and we had our go live in November. So very quick implementation. We did kind of a unique approach because we didn't have a whole lot of money. We trained staff to do most of the implementation. We wrote all of our own workflows. We designed our own system. They kind of shepherded us along, but we managed to get the price down to 30% of what their original RFP response was. And in the end, we can use the system more than most other jurisdictions can. We're not calling their help center as much. So the things that we enjoy about that new permit system, online permitting, there's citizens access modules. So if you're building a house or something, you can get real-time updates on when your plans are approved or when inspections happen. Mobile office for inspectors, so they're not going out and doing inspecting all day and then coming back in and putting the information into the system. They do it while they're there. And we have better project coordination. One interesting tangential benefit to this, we had to do a workflow analysis for every single permit that we do. So we cut a lot of extra steps out. Ongoing, we're continuing to finalize some classes of permits, and ongoing expansion for system usage, for like online payment. And to be quite honest, we're learning how to use it. We're used to a system that didn't do a whole lot, so we're used to, you know, writing everything out. So we're kind of trying to all retrain ourselves. But very exciting. And our Building and Planning Advisory Committee that Keith had mentioned was really just, if they hadn't pushed for that system as much as they did, I don't think that we would be enjoying it now. Staffing. So everybody in business knows you have to have the right people doing the right jobs. We did some shuffling around. We fully staffed our front counter with a building tech and a permit planning tech. So you always work with the same person when you come in. We added an expediter plans examiner 4 position in the permit center. So his entire focus in life is to get those little over-the-counter permits done. Instead of, you know, bringing in a garage permit and waiting for 2 weeks to get it done, he can do it in an hour. His record so far is 120 permits in 129 hours. And he did a house in 5 days. Totally unheard of last year. We created a Code Tech 5 plans examiner position to increase our capacity for fire plan review. We created the long-range planning position that we talked about with legislative. We created a deputy director position. We lost our planning manager about 2 years ago, and we needed to refill that position, but expanded a little bit. So Nick Little, who used to be the operations manager, is now deputy director, so he's over planning and technology. And this year, we're going to be starting a code enforcement program. We're right at the very beginning of trying to design that, and our focus is going to be on code compliance rather than the very time-consuming enforcement part of it. So projects, I know this is what you guys have all been waiting for, and hopefully I spoke fast enough so we have some time. So Millennium Bulk Terminals, you guys have all heard of that. The coal terminal, we continue in the environmental review process for both NEPA and SEPA. NEPA is the federal process that the Corps of Engineers is doing. And SEPA is the state process. Cowlitz County is the nominal lead. State of Washington Department of Ecology is our co-lead. All of the analysis for all of the areas of the environment are underway. We expect those to be completed. Most of them are going to be completed March, April, and then the greenhouse gas analysis will be later in the spring. We anticipate a draft EIS, which is an environmental impact statement, in November 2015 to be released to the public. Following that release, we'll have more public meetings. I don't know if anybody went to the scoping meetings that we had last year, 2013, but we'll have another public meeting and take comments on the draft EIS, respond to those comments, and then the final EIS comes out. It's been a long process on that particular project, and George got to help out at the beginning of that one. We're going to pull him back in when it's time to talk about public meetings again and see what we can do. Northwest Innovation Works is the methanol project down at the Port of Kalama. Scoping has been completed and the scoping report is out. The analysis are all underway with the EIS. We have we anticipate the draft EIS to be out by early summer, and I anticipate being done with the EIS process by the end of this year. Again, we're a co-lead agency with the Port of Kalama, and there's a pipeline extension that comes in under FERC review. And then the last big project is right in its infancy. It's the Sage Haven project at the Port of Longview. It's the butane export facility. We haven't signed the MOU with the port yet. I hope to do that in the next week or two. And we're just getting going. The waterway safety analysis has started, but nothing else really has. So I have, if I can see right, about 3 minutes if anybody had any questions.
About a minute and a half.
Oh, a minute and a half. It's got to be a good one.
Okay, I was at the commissioners meeting this morning, and Mike Karnowski was talking about your infrastructure that allows the train tracks into the area. The Three Amigos were saying that was probably a pretty poor chance of passing this year. Do you have any insight as to when that will happen?
Well, that's state funding. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of insight into that one.
Repeat the question.
Funding for the 432 project, the transportation project. Yep. We probably have half a minute. Nothing? Thank you very much for your time.
Elaine, on behalf of the Pioneer Alliance, I'll put you with this here mug and application for joining our club maybe.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great job getting through that.
We got visitations coming up. Campus Towers, Pancake Feed in Hazeldale. Bring in some wine for the Taste of Italy. Gonna have a awards meeting right up here. Marilyn Patterson is selling clothing. Mark Kelch has got the Valentine things going around. I think it's still going around. Okay, the blue ticket. 720547. Sharon's got it.
John.
Red ticket. The red ticket, 817098. Relay for Life ticket. I announced that.
Spaghetti feed meeting is announced?
No, I didn't announce that. I can't hear you.
Between Jane and I, fixed a dessert or something.
6 cards.
Good
card.
Yep. And today we got about $58. And we're just going, and we have a Pioneer Alliance Spaghetti for Life team. And the first winner is
Kim? I hope you lose your hair.
We also have a Relay for Life meeting coming up this Thursday at 6 p.m. at Cindy Pickett's house. It's potluck.
Taste of Italy, maybe, instead of...
Taste of Italy, yeah.
Who got the red one so I can write it down? The red ticket. Who got the red ticket? What?
I did.
Judy.
I did. I'm diabetes.
Diabetes, okay.
Mr. Secretary, do we have any senility?
I don't have any idea.
I'm the secretary.
Yeah. Well, there's no other business.
I'm the secretary.
This meeting is adjourned.